Hey family, you're tuning in to the Jimmy Bonds podcast on Illadelphia Radio. Pardon any technical difficulties as we are recording live on the Zoom platform. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah. Jimmy. Lights, camera, action. Some people thought I quit and I ain't giving satisfaction. From a different era, writing rhymes up on napkins. What you had to say was more important, man, than trapping. Yeah, I'm talking back and speaking of contemporary. What's good, family, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. This show is brought to you by Good Hope Road Studios. I'm your host, Jimmy Bonds, and I'm here with my two co-hosts. Let me first introduce my man, T.Y. Ty. What's good, Ty? How you feeling?
JB, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's good live from 215. You know how we do Illadelphia Radio. Also, let me introduce my other co-host, the lovely Miss T with the T. What's up, T? How you doing?
I'm feeling good. How about you, Jimmy?
I'm doing great, Mom. You know I'm always doing great. Definitely, family. I got the whole team here. Listen, if you want to call us with your comments or questions, you can call us at 844-844-1244. Again, that's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Now, family, on today's show, we are going to be discussing a topic that I think collectively as a community we have to continue to discuss. And that topic is no other than supporting Black business. Family, this has been, I guess, an ongoing issue, concern, challenge for us as a community. I think it's been something that I see constantly being preached about on the radios, and, you know, I see it all over social media, and I just see it all over the place. About the need for us as a community to support Black business. Now, I definitely know that as much advertisement and marketing is done for us supporting Black business, we don't support Black business. So on this show, I wanted to get the team together and discuss why we don't support Black business and why we should support Black business. And I also wanted to get, you know, any of our team's experiences that we've had with dealing with Black businesses. Moving forward, I want T to start because, you know, normally I jump in there and give all the stats, but I know T did a research on this one. So I want T to start. And what is the reason why we do or we don't support Black business? What did you find out?
Well, before we get into that, you know that there is only 5 Black people on the Fortune 500 list?
5.
Yes, 5. 5. I'm not gonna list their names because it might be too personal, but I got them.
Well, give me number. Which one is the highest? Where are we the highest ranked?
Marvin Elson.
Marvin Elton.
He's a home improvement.
Really?
And there was only one female. Her name was Renee Jones. And she M&T Bank. That's what I found. One girl. That's all for that one. But I found that there's only 41% Black owned in America and 17% are just minorities. Black owned in America. That's according to bias.com.
Right.
And I also found that that's only like 15%. Like really, if you put it all together, it's only like 15% minorities. For Black people.
For Black people.
For Black people that are in the U.S. And I also found some statistics that not all, even though like, not saying that we have to, but Black businesses are the top one that does not hire Black people to keep it afloat. I found that also. Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but I found that in multiple resources.
Really?
Yes.
That is a star. We put a star next to that one.
Yeah. Oh.
So you found that we don't hire us when we have our businesses. We don't hire each other to help run the business.
But it might be an unbiased like opinion, like because on one statistic study that I said it was like we don't know that we are so-called racist towards each other. That's why we don't hire each other, and that's why we don't shop with each other, because in our mind, can we really trust each other? That's the sad part that's coming to.
And and I that's something I think we're going to get into in the third segment, talking about why we don't support Black business.
Okay.
Because listen, man, the stigma, the psychological stigma that has been put on Black business for forever, pretty much, it's gone on for a long time, and it's not true. There are statistics that say that, okay, we do operate in these manners. Yes, there are experiences that say we operate in these manners, but I can also say that there are other businesses that don't operate in this manner. So as much as you have that psychological thing, you got to fight with people about Black business. There are other people who actually have businesses that are up to par, businesses that return your calls, businesses that, give you refunds if they make a mistake. I mean, these are just regular things that I'm talking about. But these are experiences I've heard people a lot of time get angry about. This is what happened. I'm trying to support my people. This is what I hear. So,
yes.
I definitely need to put a star next to that too. We don't support our own as far as hiring, which is I find crazy, but that's not something I don't think is far fetched. That's something I really believe. So,
that's sad.
It is. I mean, it's sad. It is sad. It's a sad thing, but it's the reality. I'm a realist. You know what I mean? Like, so the reality. This is what it is. And unless we start addressing it as a community, unless we start talking about open discussion, it's not going to change. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same. So. Supporting Black business is not just a freaking slogan. You know what I mean? It's a lot more than just a slogan. So I think as a people, we have to make sure that that's something that we consistently use action with, not just say it. You know what I mean? A hashtag is a hashtag. You got to put some actions behind them hashtags. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be hashtagging on social media and not really supporting putting dollars in your Black business pocket. So not supporting our people is not hiring our people should be like a smack. It is a smack in the face. I think it should be a smack in the face. Ty, what do you feel about it, man? How do you feel about everything T just talked about?
To piggyback on what T was talking about, we do have some billionaires out there that do have some business firms. And when she mentioned the percentage, that is true. And it's also based on the number of Black businesses that have like employer firms where like they hire a bunch of employees, where most of our businesses are like sole proprietors. We don't have like a lot of employees that work for us, but we do have a few businesses that are out there that are multi-billion-dollar businesses, and they have thousands of employees. One I would like to mention is called Worldwide Technology. Now I started doing some research into Worldwide Technology because they're one of the major 5 Black-owned companies that you never heard of that make over $500 million a year or more.
Yeah, Worldwide Technology, listeners. Worldwide Technology. Never heard of them.
Dave Stewart. He's the chairman of the board and the founder.
Okay.
But when you look at the executive team, there's about 8 or 9 people, and there's only one other brother on the team. His name is Bob Farrell. He's the vice president of public sector strategy. The chief executive officer and co-founder is a gentleman by the name of Jim Kavanaugh. He's a European.
Right.
And so is the rest of the board.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of a Black business it is. I mean, he's a founder, but how do you have a co-founder? That would be like me and you walking down the street. You been down, picked up a $100 bill. You found it. And I say, you're the co-founder of that $100 bill. You get $50, right? Don't make sense. So I don't know about the co-founder part. You know what I mean? Let me get half of that $100 bill, though. We have another company called Act One Group, and that's like a job placement group, biotech, finances, technology, stuff like that. You have the Anderson DuBose Company. They're based in Lordstown, Ohio. And this is a company that provides logistics solutions and unparalleled service to the world's most elite corporations.
Okay.
You have a Global Alliance Automotive. I had problems finding out information on them. They claim to be Black-owned, but I couldn't find too much information on them. And the last one was the Thompson Hospitality, based in Reston, Virginia. This company is the largest minority-owned food service management company in the country. So, I mean, we have a few employer firms, but we don't have many of those. We don't employ a lot of our own people. And I think that's because we don't have big businesses to operate so that we can employ them.
I mean, Ty, you just named about 5 companies. 5. Just went down the line, 5 companies. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of any of these firms. I can't be like, hey, I've heard of Act One before. I know what they do. I don't know anything about these firms. I know nothing about them. I mean, T, you mentioned M&T Bank. I've heard of M&T Bank before, but that's not to be like, I'm not business savvy, but these companies don't really broadcast that they're Black owned like that. You know what I mean? Like they don't put a stamp on it to say they're Black owned. So it's hard for them.
That's the reason. There's a good reason for that, and that's because if you label yourself Black owned, you're putting that label on you, and it's a negative label.
It is.
We spoke before about the word Black being negative. I know a lot of stats are saying when you label yourself like that, it's kind of like a negative effect because we're looking for the support, but some people are not going to support you if you're Black owned. That's just what it is. They're not going to support you.
That's just fact. Yeah, that's just fact.
You know?
That's
our problem too. Like a lot of times we got to say we're Black owned.
Yeah.
And I feel as though we necessarily don't have to say that. When I go into a pizza shop and I see some calzones, some stromboli, fettuccine, and all that stuff, you know who they are. They're Italians. But they're not saying we're Italian owned. They're Italians. Going to the Chinese store, got your lo mein, your fried rice. They don't have to say they're Chinese owned. You know who they are. They're Chinese. And I think we're the only people that do that. We call ourselves Black owned. I guess we need that status. I don't know what it is, why we do it, but we're the only people that do it.
I mean, but you bring up a great point, but I know why we do it. I know exactly why we do it. We don't own anything. That's why we do it. If we own stuff, we wouldn't be like, hey, Black owned. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have to tell you it's Black owned. I wouldn't have to tell you anything. But it's expected upon us. We don't own anything. So you walk into an establishment, this establishment might look great. You might see, and as T says, you see, they don't hire our own. So you might see somebody white behind the counter, and you don't know it's Black owned. You're like, yo, this place is nice. And you see the owner. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold.
Catch you off guard.
Hold on. This is Black owned? Wait a minute. Now, in respect to what you're saying, I completely agree that we shouldn't wave a flag and have a stamp when you walk in the building and say it's Black owned. No, you shouldn't. That's not the way it should be. As we go back to identity time,
right.
We have to, there's something about us that we have to establish. You know what I mean? There is an establishment of a foundation that we want to lay. And Black owned is a good way to lay foundations. You know what I mean? Black business or having a business by itself is a good way to lay foundations. I don't care what nationality you are. I think in the long run, we kind of have to brush that Black owned off of us. Like, we're Black people who own a business. That's really what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's if it's not Black owned, we're business owners who happen to be Black. That's what it is. That's the way we have to look at it. Because if we don't look at it that way, now we get the negative connotations with everything. And now you get the whole, I don't support Black business, or I don't support Black people because, you guys do this, and you guys do that, which we will talk about later on in the show. But, what I wanted to do first is I wanted to give you some of my stats, some of my facts that I've looked up. Ty, you might know some of this. And family, I hope you guys, know some of this. But today I was, before my podcast, I was driving around and I was listening to 107.9, which is a Clear Channel radio station, and they are doing a new initiative for supporting Black business, okay? Kathy Hughes did the whole voiceover, everything, talking about why we got to support Black business. And she gave statistics. Now, family, the statistics she gave was that our spending power is about 1.3 trillion, which means we have the power. Put that in perspective. Each year, our spending power is 1.3 trillion. That is how much money we influx to the American economy. You think about that amount of spending power. Like you put this much money in the economy, one race, that much money. You would think that we would want to garner more for the amount of money we spend. For what we put out there to the businesses that we're doing. I mean, we are the best consumers in the world. We consume every single thing. And it's because we don't have businesses to own. So we have to consume other places. Okay? But in saying that, the businesses that are out there, we have to find a way to support them. Because I'm going to tell you why. Out of the $1.3 trillion that we have as far as spending power, approximately 2% of that money comes back to Black business. Two.
It's not
That's
much.
sad.
Yeah, it's not much at all.
That's sad. That's not even like you know how you get an F on a paper and your teacher's like, that's unacceptable. Like, no, that's not. That's like beyond unacceptable. That's like we should really be punished for the way we treat each other. Like, it should really be something that, like, it is no reason why at 2%, that is the amount of money we put back into our own people. 2%. Now, like I said, I understand why we don't, we got these little limitations or our hangups of spending money with Black businesses. But look, 2% is ridiculous. That's not even like, I can't even go there.
That's sad.
It's not even sad. It's just like, it goes to show you that we would rather our businesses die and let them fall and let them go bankrupt than help and support them. That's what it pretty much says. It also pretty much says that we would rather make sure all these other companies that don't support us, that don't look like us, make sure that they stay affluent, stay afloat. We make sure. We make sure Gucci got as much money from our money as we make sure. We make sure. Fendi, we make sure of it. Nike, we make sure of it. Jordan, we make sure of it. And don't come to me and tell me Air Jordan is a Black-owned business. I do not want to hear it. And don't tell me
Jordan again, man.
And don't tell me you support Black business and you're wearing Jordans. I don't want to hear it.
Because you're not.
You're not. I do not want to hear it. Like, that is not the same thing. That man does not support us. And if anybody says he does, you're lying. You're lying. I'm just saying. But, moving right along, when you think about the amount of money we spend and why we don't put our money back into the community, it's just a hurt piece. I'll give you some stats. We are more likely to shop at high-end stores like Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, and Bloomingdale's. Okay, we would rather shop there than shop at any Black-owned business ever. We'd rather go into the store than shop online. That is these are just our habits as far as our shopping habits. We'd rather go in the store and shop online. So right now is a really tough time for us to figure, because we like to hold, we like to touch. They don't make stuff for our bodies the way that they make stuff for everybody else. So we have to go in and physically try the stuff on. My foot don't fit in every shoe, even though it could be a 10.5, but it's not supposed to be a 10.5. It's not. My foot does not fit in every shoe, so I have to go and try the shoe on. And these are our habits, So, in saying that, you have to realize that our habits are the ones that's what pushes our dollar. You know what I mean? And if we don't change our habits, then the Black business will always fail. If we don't change the way we operate, the Black business will always fail. I don't care if you went home and you was like, yo, I got to spend $50 on a Black-owned business every week. I guarantee you will make a difference. I guarantee you will make a difference. That's really what it is. It's about taking an initiative, putting your money where your mouth is. Saying that I'm going to actually support my Black business. Don't say you're going to do it. Just do it. Do it, please. Do it. And I can tell you, I'm one to confess. I do not. I have not bought another thing of clothing with somebody else's name on it if it's not Black owned. If it's not mine or if it's not Black owned, I'm not wearing it. If you see me out in public, you will see me in the same operating uniform, because I don't support that kind of stuff. If it's Black owned, you will see me wearing it. If it's not, I'm not wearing it. These are my new stipulations for myself, because this is how much I believe that we have to support Black business. From everything we do, from the soap to the hairbrush, to the buying the hair for your wife or your significant other, to getting your nails done and getting your eyelashes done, getting your makeup, getting your shoes. I mean, every single aspect of the way you wake up, you should try to support Black business in some way, family, some way. And on that note, I want to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna discuss why you should support Black business. And we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna definitely highlight some good Black businesses that I know. Talk about why we should and why these businesses need to be supported. You will listen to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Michael from Abu Dhabi. Listen to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio.
Welcome back to the Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We thank you for listening. Remember, family, you can call us at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And welcome back to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. This segment is brought to you by Major Flavor Catering. Now, family, before the break, we were discussing supporting Black business. We were all three of us are giving stats, about what the stats are, about how we support Black business, what the dollar amount is, about how much money that goes into supporting Black business. We went over a few facts and a few stats that I thought were relevant and important to mention. T talked about how we don't hire our own when we have our own businesses. So I think that's a start by itself. Just to be like, wow, we don't even hire our own. That's crazy. But on this segment, family, I wanted to talk about why we should support Black business, and I wanted to talk about the economic factor of it. And I mean, I'm not talking about economics in the sense of going over your head or anything like that. I mean, simple economics. Why we should support Black businesses, because being an entrepreneur in this country is the thing. That is the thing. That is what this country is built on. It's not built on anything else. Every company, every corporation has ever been built. Somebody was an entrepreneur before. This is how they built these companies. Geico, all of them. You can go online, every company, somebody was an entrepreneur says, I have an idea. The reason why we should support Black business is because their ideas are relevant to us. They cater to us. They're from the clothing to the food, to the reading materials, to the soap, the freaking shea butters. I mean, all this is relevant for us. These are things that are for us. This is why we have to support us. What do you think about it, Ty? What do you think as to why we should support Black business?
Well, we should support them because it will help out the community. But the only downside to that, we don't have a lot of the businesses in the community. And it's tough, Jimmy, because when I go down 52nd Street on 52nd and Market Street, you do have a few Black-owned businesses down there. There's small boutiques, a couple of clothing line stores, print shops. You have a few barbershops, nail salons. The restaurants they're not too many over there in West Philly as far as Market Street. No. Back in the 80s and the 90s, they were all over the place. They died down over here in Philly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should support the businesses to help out not only the business, but to put the money, like you said, back into the community. And in turn, that will help out the community. It's just that cycle that keeps going.
Keeps going. That's the economy. That's how economy works. Right.
But again, with our problems, we don't have enough businesses out there to support. We have some, but there's not enough. And that's what the problem is, that we don't have enough. And it's hard for us to get the money to start up a business too.
And I mean, that's something I definitely think we're going to touch on. T, do you think it's a geographical thing where, because we don't like to shop online or we don't like to do that kind of thing, you think it's a geographical thing as to why I'm saying we should support Black business?
Yes. The one study I did read is that some of them are not close. Like, for instance, say Walmart's right there. I'm not going to travel 10 miles out of the way to go to this Black-owned business that I know has great quality because Walmart's down the street. People are lazy.
Convenience.
Yeah, it's all about convenience. Especially after work, you're not going to travel 10 miles this way, and you can just walk down the street and get what you need.
Yeah, in one spot, one location.
Exactly.
I know.
I also think that with today's technology, more businesses, our own businesses rather, should be marketing, promoting, and advertising more online, because that's where everything is going, online. As far as sales, so on and so forth. And I think our businesses are kind of behind in that. I mean, we're more so looking for that foot traffic, but again, a lot of sales are happening online.
Right.
Especially during this time.
Yeah, especially during the 6 months. Yeah.
I always mention, about how the IT game we're not in the IT game. They don't let us in there. You know what I mean? So to even get brothers that have that kind of knowledge to help facilitate these businesses like that. You know, it doesn't coincide all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't match with what's going on all the time. Like, showing these businesses how to get different streams of income. You know what I mean? Showing them how to get the merchant cards from the bank. Showing them how to do the e-commerce online. Like, these are things that nobody shows them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, hey, let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to capitalize off of it. And if there are people that show them to do it, you know what happens? They'd be like, you got to pay some money for that. You know what I mean? You got to pay some money, and they always say the game will never be told, it'll be sold, right? So they always say that you got to pay for the knowledge, like going to college. You know, you got to pay for it. But I find it to be ridiculous if you're trying to help a Black business succeed. You know what I mean? Like, really trying to help them succeed. Now, my OG I used to work for back in the day at the newspaper, I used to battle with him back and forth about why he needed to go digital. You need to go digital. I mean, I would beat him over the head about it. But he wouldn't make the move because a lot of times the reluctancy of it, we get complacent, no lie. We get complacent. But the reluctancy of it comes from us being ignorant to not knowing what it is. You know what I mean? To not knowing what the real capabilities are and what the real, you know, what the potential is for us to really go digital or go online. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you don't have a website, or you don't have, you know, if you don't have things like in place, that's not going to make me take you seriously, right? That's what people say. That's not really how we should really view that kind of stuff, man. We got to know that, like, we got to set up our stuff for us that makes it convenient for us, that provides outlets for where we shop. You know what I mean? We got to be able to make sure that we are seen so that people can purchase from us. You know what I mean? That's really what it has to be. We should support Black business because, I mean, man, Black business is what made us operate. To be honest with you, you know, you think about it. Black drug business is just as much Black business as anything else. Hey, my drug dealers. Hey, yes. But when it comes to entrepreneurs, boy, they be like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to buy the stuff you're selling. You're not the guy hustling on the corner. You know, you don't have my dime bag, so I don't know if I want to buy from you. You just be like, what in the world? That's the kind of imposter I'm talking about. Like, you can't. There's no way in the world that works. That you would feel more comfortable buying weed than going to buy something from somebody that's legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what I'm saying. I also think we should definitely support Black business that somebody got a great idea. You know, it's going to work for us in the community. We should support it. I have to say this real quick because I don't want nobody to get upset at me. I do not mean to support network marketing, okay? I think network marketing is not the same as supporting Black business because network marketing is a whole different outlet. They'll feel like it's not your product. You're selling someone else's product. You're not selling something that you developed. Sometimes you spend your blood, sweat, and tears putting in to put out there. So I don't have anything against people that do network marketing. I just don't think that is a strategic way to help our community and economy. That's really what I'm saying. Okay.
The network marketing, is that the thing that's going on now where everybody puts into a pool of money and they pay out somebody each month or each week, whatever? What's the network marketing? That's a
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Okay.
Network marketing is more like, oh man, you know Amway? You ever heard of Amway?
Amway, yes.
Amway is network marketing. It's a company has a product and I'm a salesman for that company. And the idea is to get more salesmen, more people to sell that product with me. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Like that's network marketing. I mean, it's not in a nutshell. I'm sure some of my network marketers listen to it like, Jimmy, that's not all it is. I'm sure it's so much more than that. Listen, I've had many people come to me and be like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. Like, no, you do not have an opportunity for me. That's not my opportunity. If I have to put money into something that I'm not going to benefit from, that's not an opportunity. So stop coming to me with that. Network marketing is not Black business. Stop it. Because we as Black people could put our money into something else that was ours. Yeah. I would rather go down in flames for my own money than go down with somebody else whose product I don't know who these people are. I'm just selling a product. Mm-hmm. You know, like then you're not an owner. You're just a salesperson. You are a customer service rep pretty much for that company. You know what I'm saying? So people, please, network marketing is not the same as being an entrepreneur. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted because just it's not the same. So I'm sorry to say that, y'all. I had to put that in there because there are people out there that be like, yo, I support Black business. I'm doing this. And it's like, yo, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. That's not part of this equation, not part of the conversation. Okay, moving right along. But I think that, we should support Black business because it keeps our economy going. It keeps our businesses going. That's for sure. It keeps our businesses flourishing, keeps them, being able to hire other people. But I don't think that, I think we don't because of the stigmas that are on Black business. I think we don't because we're afraid of each other, which is crazy. You know what I mean? We're afraid of each other. Like, we're more afraid to buy from us than we would from, say, the Chinese people who own a hair store. And, in the next segment, I definitely want to talk about the experiences as to why people feel this way. Why there's only 2% of the Black dollar to go back into the Black business. I definitely, think we got to talk about that. But, it's upsetting. As much as people should support Black business, we don't. And I'm going to say it again. We should because we have to. We should because it keeps these businesses going. We should because it puts food on our kids' table. We should because it keeps lights on in the business. We should because it keeps the community, such as 52nd Street, 52nd and Market, Black Harlem, I call it, in Philadelphia, like nobody else in Philly. Like, it's just the only section in Philly that has it like this. We keep it. You have to support it so we can keep these pockets of these geographical areas in our cities. Because once those stores leave and once those vendors pass, like we talked about before, time from generations before, once that happens, it's not us that's coming back trying to fill in them stores. It's not us that's coming back trying to make sure that the candy shop don't close. You know what I'm saying, Ty? It's not us that's trying to make sure that, the mom and pop store in the corner that do the soul food is staying open. That we don't really worry about that stuff. We be like, oh, they closed. Oh, well. We don't know why they closed. Mad. Yeah, they get mad, but then they close. Oh, well. And it's not an oh, well. It's why didn't they close? Maybe we should have supported them more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should have did something. Maybe we should have helped out differently. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should have made sure the business got out there. Maybe we should have handed out some flyers. Who knows? But what I'm saying is we have to figure out a way to make sure we support us because that's the only way we're going to make it. If nobody going to support us, who's going to support us? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why a lot of Black businesses fail because we don't support each other.
We're consumers.
We are. We consume more than anything else.
Needs and wants for consumption was created by those that gave us the needs and wants to begin with. We didn't give ourselves those needs and wants. Those needs and wants were given to us by other people. And then they come into the neighborhoods and set up shop and they provide us with the needs and the wants.
Right.
We don't provide the needs and wants for our own people. You know what I mean?
Right.
We do soul food, haircuts, hair salon. I still don't understand why we don't have more nail salons, Black-owned women that have nail salons instead of going to the Chinese people. That's the part I don't get because a lot of them go to school for that type of stuff.
They do.
But after school, it's like they don't set up those type of shops. Well, and that's the one thing that baffles me with that.
I mean, and that's why, on the next segment, we'll talk about that on the next segment as to why people don't support Black business. You will listen to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Michael from Abu Dhabi. Listen to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio.
Welcome back to the Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We thank you for listening. Remember, family, you can call us at 844-844-1244. Again, that's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And welcome back to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio. Family, this section is brought to you by Major Flavor Catering. Now, family, on this segment, we are continually talking about supporting Black business. On our last segment, we talked about why we should support Black business. And on this segment, I want to talk about why we don't support Black business. There are many reasons. I hear a lot of the negative experiences. Unfortunately, This is the part of the show I really hate, because I always want to talk about how, like, why we should support us, why we have to support us. Why we don't, there are some real reasons as to why we don't support Black business. T, what do you think are the reasons as to why we don't support Black business?
I've noticed and I've read that one main thing is unprofessionalism. That's one main thing.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And another main thing I read was poor treatment. If you see me, you treat me like every other customer. Just because I look like you does not mean that we're the same. Like, don't do that to that point. Like, don't. Yeah, you see what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but trying to say it. And then another reason, price-wise. I had a personal experience with that. Price-wise for the Black business.
What's your experience, T? What was it?
There was something online, but I knew the person. It was Black-owned business and things like that. Basically, the quantity of the item toward the price you're trying to sell it to me, towards the price that you're trying to charge me for taxes and shipping. No, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
I can go to the store and get the same thing. Walmart, get the same thing. That's another thing. It's overpriced.
Yeah.
Those are three of the main things, and I looked online too. Those are three of the main things. That's mine and everybody else, basically.
Mine and everybody else's. I mean, look, no, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Like, I'll do it one time to say I supported you, but I'm not gonna keep on ordering from your site.
But the thing about it is, like, people, we gotta understand, we want to retain our customers. We just don't want to support. If you're a business, you want customer retention. You don't just want to hey, support me. Like, that's just like, you give support to a nonprofit organization. You don't support a business. You patronize a business, right? So if I want to support, I can donate. That's not you running a business.
Exactly.
I understand. I definitely understand what you mean by that. Ty, what you think as to why we don't support Black business?
Them damn Black people. Not everybody is Black, man. No, seriously. Some damn Black folks, man. Look. All right. No, listen. Let me give you one of my experiences I had when I had my own restaurant, right?
Oh yeah, I want to hear this time. I want to hear this.
I had like a little soul food and I had like a little convenience store section in the building, right? So a couple of kids walking, they looking around, they like, man, all this candy, yeah, this candy look good. I'm like, yeah, what can I get for you young fellas today? What y'all need? I don't know, you got anything for free? I'm like, man, these guys. I said, no, man, but look, the Poppy store in the corner, they got some free stuff, man. They said, yeah, so they run out the store. I'm like, all right. They come back 3 minutes later cussing me out. I'm like, what's wrong? You said they had something for free. I'm like, but you wanted my stuff for free. So why don't you just go down there? Man, young kids, they let me have it. But no, but
They need
seriously.
to learn, though.
You know what I'm saying? But
Always
it's
want
hard.
something for free.
It's hard for us to support. A lot of times people looking for discounts and deals, which is cool, but at the same time, is that Black business owner getting his product or her product at the same price that another business is getting theirs? So sometimes that plays a factor in it as well. Like the clothing material we buy, they may charge us more just because of our skin complexion. It happens, we get treated like that sometimes. Even in the food industry, certain foods, I'll tell you what, years ago, I don't know if you remember a store called Drug Emporium.
I do.
I would like to see it, Drug Emporium. Well, they got hit with a lawsuit because when you would go in Drug Emporium, the black people products were priced higher, and they also had on the sticker a H before the price. So that's how they knew which ones were Black products, and they would charge you more for those products. Wow. Same thing applies today. They still charge us for more stuff that we use. But as far as supporting, I know y'all mentioned trust earlier. I think T mentioned trust. I believe you mentioned trust too. That's a big part of it. Trust. It's hard to continue to spend money with someone if you don't trust them or their quality is not good. And that's not just us. That's anybody.
Period.
Another example of what just happened to me. I went to the African store. These are my people from Africa. I always get a DV platter, right? DV platter is the grilled lamb.
Right.
So I say, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to get a chicken yassa platter because I love chicken yassa. Well, I ordered the food. They're not the same owners. The other owners went back to Liberia. So I ordered me a grilled chicken platter. It said brown rice, some yassa sauce. I get home, I open it up, I start eating the chicken, but I'm like, wait, I can't identify which part of the chicken it is.
Oh, God.
So I know it wasn't chicken.
Oh, God.
I didn't see a chicken thigh bone.
You should have went to a Nigerian. That's why. That's why. That's why.
So you know I'm not going back there, right?
No, never going back. Never going back. You just don't, because African food is a specialty, man. You don't mess that up. Please don't mess that up. Don't mess my mouth up. That's peanut soup.
Especially the jollof rice. Don't mess it up.
Mess up my peanut soup. I'm asking, just don't do it, please. That's just what I'm telling you. That is exactly why you're not going back to that establishment. I'm not going back to. I'm not going to go spend some more money again because you obviously messed it up the first time. But like you said, that's anywhere. That's anywhere. That's across the board. I mean, I told you my story about Wayfair. I tried to buy two desks from Wayfair. I bought these 2 desks. They got stolen. I had to call them back, tell them to send me the desks again. They sent me 2 new desks that wasn't the first desk that I sent that I paid for in the first place. Then when I go put them together, the desks, they don't match up. Something's wrong with them. I can't use one of them. So therefore, I'm never ordering from Wayfair again. You see Wayfair commercials out the yin yang. You can be watching TV, you see Wayfair commercials, and you think that you trust them. You would think that you trust them. Just because you see advertisements don't mean you should trust that company. I say that to say is why we don't support Black business is because we trust people like Wayfair, not realizing that across the board, everybody's the same.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between us and everybody else is we can't cut corners. We can't cut corners on professionalism. We can't cut corners on financing. We can't cut corners on how we treat our customers. We cannot cut corners because once we cut corners, the stigma never leaves. It never, ever, ever, ever leaves. Okay, I'll give you a point in time. Something real, real small. My wife's birthday is a couple days away. She's scheduled to get her eyelashes done with these girls. She paid her deposit of $10. She's supposed to do her appointment tomorrow. She can't find the girl. She done text the girl. She done called her. She can't find her.
Unprofessional.
Cannot find her. But at the same time, the girl got $10. She got our $10. You know what I'm saying? So I should be furious. However, all that $10 showed me is it cost me $10 to realize I'm never doing business with you again.
Yes. Yes.
That's better than me spending $150 and realizing I should never do business with you again.
Yes.
We can't cut corners. If somebody calls you and says, I want an appointment, and you take their money, follow through. No. If somebody calls you and you cannot do the appointment, give them back their money.
Yes.
And a phone call. And don't make a big deal about it. Just do it. If you're trying to grow your business, don't overcharge people. And don't be overcharging people for subpar services either. I don't have any hair, okay? I have no hair. But I can tell you, being in these hair salons with my wife and picking her up and talking to her, spending $200 on braids, and she got to take the braids out after 3 days. Stop cutting corners. Stop trying to be my friend so it's going to be cheaper. Yeah. That's not how
when you mess it up, you don't get mad.
Right. That's not how we move ahead. Stop trying to get yourself to the point where you feel like, hey, I know I can get over on this. Hey, I know this is my thing. Stop all this. None of this is going to help us get any better or move forward in supporting our community. Period. We have to understand that we don't support each other because they told us not to support each other. If there was a Black-owned company that was like Fendi, we could shut that joint down. It had the same designer quality, blah, 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 blah. But because he's Italian, or Fendi's an Italian company, or Gucci's an Italian company, we feel something different about it. It don't make no sense to me. We have to stop acting like because something is expensive, it's good quality. That's not true. Because something is expensive, that means it's worth putting your money into it. That's not true. We got to stop feeling like Black businesses are bad. We got to stop being so negative towards each other. Goodness gracious, you're already putting up barriers before I even open up my business. You know what I'm saying? Before I even introduce you. The color of my skin to my own people should not be something that hinders me from moving forward in my business world. Crabs in the barrel is crabs in the barrel, but give me a break, yo. Am I supposed to just, I want to open my business, but I got to make sure I got to advertise my business to other cultures because my people won't support me. Again, stop cutting corners.
That's where that Black-owned comes in at. It's part of that's the reason. Like, I'm gonna give you an example as far as with restaurants. I can give you a perfect example of restaurants. You can say it's a black-owned restaurant, but most of our menus consist of fried chicken,
Mm-hmm.
fried fish,
Mm-hmm.
macaroni and cheese,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some sweet potatoes. Some people, they use like 5 pounds of sweet potatoes, 15 pounds of sugar, 10 pounds of butter for 1 pan.
Yep.
Other cultures realize this, and they're not going to come and support us based off of what we serve menu-wise.
Mhm.
And a lot of us don't adapt and adjust to the times. Like, you can't keep eating that type of food all the time because you're going to have high blood pressure, diabetes, high
Which we do.
cholesterol,
Which we
all
do.
kinds of problems.
Yep. Which we do.
So a lot of
Black
times I tell people, try to like alter your menu a little bit. That way you can bring in a diverse crowd.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'll stretch your money. That'll open up your market stream as well as to who your consumer is.
How many black-owned stores sell guacamole?
Not many.
None.
I like guacamole.
I do too. I love Southwest Texas.
Good.
I love it all. Like,
But you're not
I might as well
gonna
be
get
Mexican
guacamole.
as much burritos as I eat. Come on, man. You know what? Burritos probably aren't even a Mexican thing. It's probably something that the Americans made to say it was Mexican.
They put it on them,
Of
yeah.
course.
They put it on them. Just like
Probably
that.
Mexicans like, yo, Jimmy, that's not a Mexican dish, dude. That's not Mexican, dude.
But you're gonna eat it.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, I tell you, like I said, I like my beans and rice. I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But Ty, you're right. Like we have to be above par, not up to par, above par at all times on everything and every level. Is that a lot of work? Yeah, but everything we do is a lot of work. When you're born and you in this country, you born black, it's gonna be hard. Period.
Mhm.
Everybody know it. Everybody know it. If you want starting a business is not gonna be any different. You know,
Right.
if you jump out there and this is what you want to do, it's gonna be hard. Now, is it gonna be hard for a white person? Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them too. But it's gonna be probably twice as hard as for us. You know what I mean? It's gonna be twice as hard for us to get out there. We don't have the same amount of loans. We don't have the same amount of grants. I mean, we don't have the same amount of anything. Investors, none of that. We don't get those type of support. We don't get that type of support.
But you made a big point earlier when you said our spending power is how much again?
1.3 trillion.
Imagine that 1.3 trillion was just put into our communities alone.
Let me tell you,
beautiful.
we would have Wakanda 3 times over. We would have little cities of Wakanda sitting around all over this country from west, east, north, south.
Wakanda forever.
Could you, really, could you imagine? Could you just imagine? It would just be ridiculous. But I don't think we don't have that kind of faith in each other though, Ty. That's the problem. That's the problem. We don't have faith in each other. That is a systematic thing that has been embedded in us for a long time, which is really interesting to me because we will put faith in other organizations that are run by other people. We won't put faith in each other.
You know what a lot of people don't see? The Chinese copied our form of business from Black Wall Street. So now when you go to different cities throughout the United States, you'll have a Chinatown there. That's the Black Wall Street format.
It is. It is.
They have little Chinatowns in every little city.
And I know you always talk about, Blacktown. You always talking about you want your Blacktown. It's not, and listen, I'm right there with you. We need to figure out how to do it. Like Harlem don't exist no more, man. There isn't a Harlem anymore. There isn't a place like we're affluent and it's just for us. Even on 52nd Street. I told you my wife from 52nd Street. There are other nationalities moving on 52nd Street. And those black businesses won't be there anymore because of that's what's happening. You know what I mean? And if they want to stay, they're going to have to adjust, like you said before. Hey, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to serve these consumers because our consumer base has changed. That's why we need to make sure that we support black business because they're failing, but we don't because we lost faith in it. We lose faith in each other, which is crazy to me, man. We spend so much time around each other. Morning, noon, and night, we work together. We go to church together. Shoot, man, our kids go to school
Pray
together. Somebody gets sick, we right there. Somebody needs something, we right there. But we will not support each other business-wise. That's crazy.
Well, everything you just mentioned doesn't require science, but business requires science. Everything else you just mentioned doesn't require science to it.
Business requires money.
That
Money is science. Money is science.
I want to take it back to what Ty said about the Black Wall Street and how the Chinese took it over, basically, like they with our concept. A lot of people do not know about Black Wall Street.
No.
That's the thing. When we start learning our history, I feel like it can make a difference. It will make a difference, and we'll rise up.
Well, you know, see, we did it. Me and Ty did a podcast about that a little while ago, and we were talking about how Black Wall Street was. There were 30 or 40 Black Wall Streets. It wasn't just one. You know, they were all over the South. Booker T. Washington was a G and was like, "Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna build this up. You get your people in your little town, and I got these people in this little town. Y'all start building these marketplaces for us." They created these places. Sustaining them is hard when you have oppression coming at you. You know, if you have a successful business or somebody don't want you to be successful, yeah, we know what's going to happen. But me and Ty have always talked about why it never came back. Yeah. Okay, when you take something,
our unity broke.
It's unity, it's assimilation, it's a sense of freedom. Like, oh, I don't have to go down to our marketplace. I can go downtown now and shop. There's more things that are available to me now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of why it changed. But even with that being said, those things aren't for us. Like I always say, you go to the store, you can't. Those clothes are made for Europeans. Let's just call it what it is. Clothes ain't made for us. We try to fit in them slim fit jeans, and we'll lose a lot of weight to fit in them slim fit jeans. But that ain't us.
Jump up and down. We ain't fitting.
Slim. My wife try to give me a slim fit all the time. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm built like a running back. You can't put me in that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I have to. You know, I have to make sure I gotta breathe. My boys gotta breathe. You know what I'm saying? But like this is exactly what I'm trying to get to. It's like we jumped at what they offered, and we didn't say, "Well, Paul, hold on, that's a good offer. That's good." But we doing this over here. That's not what we said. We was like, what? What? Y'all got them shirts? Oh, come on, go downtown. I'm gonna go downtown. Shoot, let me go get it downtown. And that's what we did. And we just kept going downtown. Woody's, Hex, Macy's. I keep going. You know what I'm saying? There's a store on 52nd Street called Chaparro's. My mom was taking me to Chaparro's since I was a kid. Shoe store, right? Since I was a kid. I told my wife in 52nd Street, so we always had this connection talking about Chaparro's. Now, I'm not from Philly, right? But every year I would come to Philly to get my Easter suit, my Easter shoes, all that kind of stuff. You laugh.
That was a bad store.
I'm telling you. So this is what there are stores like that for me. I can't do that for my son right now. I don't have a store like that I take to my son and be like, hey, let me get him some corrective shoes so he can walk better. Let me figure out. They don't have stores like that no more.
I'm laughing because everybody went to Chaparral. I went there too.
See?
And you would go in there. They had your foot measurements all over the place.
All over. And it was for our feet. Because our feet are different than other people's feet. We don't have narrow feet. We have wide. Not everybody's foot is narrow and wide, but our feet are different. They vary so much. So, you know, like when you don't have those kind of places, you know, you try to look for it. I don't know where to find them. But could you imagine somebody being like, you know what? I'm going to be that person to make sure I design these shoes. You know, even if it's online. You know what I'm saying, child? Like, it don't have to be like that. We could find other reasons to support Black business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could find other ways to make sure that we have what we need in our communities and outside our communities. You know what I mean? There are kids that go to college that need support like this. You know what I mean? That need a Black business to be like, hey, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But the Black business, hey, you get the support to help the kids go to school. You know what I'm saying? They can't even get the support from us in the community to push a child in that kind of direction. America is about the bottom line, the bottom dollar. That's what it is. Your bottom line is more important than anything else. That's what America is about. And we have adopted that way of thinking. I tell you that all the time, how we assimilate because that's what we do. But we have adopted that way of thinking that your bottom line is more important than how you treat your customers. That's the way they think. And if you're going to be a Black business, you cannot think like this. Because you have to always be better than they are. Always. Not sometimes, not part of the time, not 90%, 100% of the time, you have to be better. And this is going back from all the generations before us. They had to be better than the generation before them. But they always had to be better than their counterpart. And you know who I'm talking about is their counterpart. So it's imperative that we support Black business. We don't because of these things. So all my business owners and entrepreneurs, look, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna get on here and try to preach and be like, hey, I gotta do X, Y, Z. I'm doing the same thing. I'm a business owner too. Ty's a business owner. He's about to be a business owner. Like, so we're all entrepreneurs. So it's not like I'm just being like, hey, this is what you gotta do. I do the same things. I have to operate under the same parameters. I have to be better than everybody else. I have to work just as hard or twice as hard as everybody else. You know, nothing's given to me. We don't have financing for the radio station from some angel investors or some major corporations. You know, we do all this from the muscle. We believe in our product and we believe in what we're doing. Are we looking for support from Black businesses? Hell yeah. But we're looking for support from everybody. We want to incorporate all businesses into our thing. But on this segment, on this show, we're talking about supporting Black businesses. And that's what really I'm about. I'm really about supporting Black businesses. Illadelphia Radio is about supporting Black businesses. You know, I'm sure I speak for Ty and T when I'm like, we about supporting Black businesses. Like, period. Point blank, nothing else to it. Now, I'm not saying you got to be like me and be militant and be like, I ain't wearing nothing else. I'm saying take a couple of dollars and put some money into them Black businesses and just see how much it does. Just see. Take a couple. Don't make it support. Make it patronage. Not support. Make it patronage. I'm going to patronize your business because I believe in what you're doing. And we'll have some entrepreneurs out there who need your support to keep them going, to keep them to believe that what they started was not in vain. And what they started, it was the truth behind it. You know what I mean? It was a good idea. It's people right now probably in the hood got brilliant ideas, but probably don't want to start them because they feel like they're not going to get the support. So, I mean, I feel like we have to first make sure we initiate and push these Black businesses. And we also have to make sure we say we're going to support them and not give reasons as to why we don't support them. Just do it. I ain't like you, but just do it. Just do it, man. You know, on that note, I wanted to make sure we shout out a couple Black businesses out there. You know, don't get the recognition. So we want to make sure we put their brand name on the airwaves. My business, my Black business is called Molly Flamboyant. It is my boy Molly from New Orleans. I have recently purchased some products from Molly. He is a graphic designer. He is a clothing designer, should I say. He makes his own clothes. I definitely tell everybody go check him out on Instagram. He makes his own clothes. I just bought me a nice hoodie, 2 hoodies, 2 t-shirts, and some hats, a whole bunch of stuff because I'm supporting this bull. But Molly Flamboyant out in New Orleans, man, I hope that you listen to this. You're getting a major shout out, bull. But I listen to support him. He's a great boy. He's doing some great things in his community. And his stuff is affordable. Believe me, his stuff is affordable. $40 for a hoodie is not out of this world, family. Please, please, please support Molly Flamboyant. See, you got any companies or businesses you want to make sure that you shout out?
I have one local business. It's called Value May. It's a clothing line. Her clothing is really, really good. She has good quality, and it's not expensive at all.
Ty, you got any business you wanna throw out there, man?
I have one. Ambi's Country Kitchen, located in Chester, 2300 West 4th Street. It's a good soul food restaurant.
Ambi's.
Professional, great service.
I got one more. This is another local clothing business. It's called The Secret to Venezuela. Like a same one as the other one. Perfect quality clothing, not expensive at all. If she'll reach you, and she looks at everybody as family, so she'll take care of you.
Well, that's right, family. You know, we all about supporting Black business, and like I say, put my money where my mouth is. I make sure that, you know, we do this. This is going to be a serious family, so we're going to be bringing entrepreneurs on. We're going to be bringing them on, talking about their experiences and their business and other things of that nature. So if you know any businesses out there, any entrepreneurs out there that would love to come on and talk to us about their business, make sure you reach us. You call us at 844-844-1244. Again, that's 844-844-1244. They can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Now, family, you know, as I always say, this is always fun for us. We enjoy talking about this stuff, but, you know, this is a serious conversation. I see a lot of businesses right now going under in the coronavirus. Major businesses going bankrupt. You know, these aren't black owned. These are just regular businesses out here in the market world. And I feel like, you know, these times really show us why we should support black business. You know, it really highlights why it is imperative that we do this, and why we should make such a major initiative to do it. It hurts me to see black businesses go under, or it hurts me to see, you know, they open their doors and not be able to last as long as they would like to last. So family, I think as a collective, as a community, we have to take the initiative to care about our black businesses, care about patronizing them, and care about enhancing, I guess, growing their business with them, because they're in our community. They're in our place of habitat. So all my businesses out there, I would hope that we start building a practice of hiring our own. So it's not, you know, it doesn't look crazy when I walk into a black-owned restaurant and I don't realize it's black-owned. I think we have to do just a better job of having more faith in each other and having a belief that you know, that we can do this, because we can. Black Wall Street wasn't that long ago. It's definitely happening. And family, there's one point I want to mention too, because this is something that I definitely think we got to highlight. You know, we talk a lot about black business, we talk a lot about supporting black business, but one of the things that I really want to highlight is, you know, the new age black business, the largest growing population and demographic of black businesses is the black woman. I need y'all to understand that these black women out here are in many ways doing it on their own and with no support. If anything, if you care about us, you care about us as a people, we got to start supporting them. And I say black women because it's funny, it is sometimes, not even sometimes, they get a slight all the time. So I want to make sure that I highlight that, because, you know, just as much as we talk about that, you know, black women are growing, man. We make sure we highlight that, man. Make sure we give them recognition that's due. Okay, that's really what I'm saying. They give them the recognition that's due. You know, on that note, I thank all y'all for listening. Illadelphia Radio thanks you for listening. I am so honored and humbled every week we do this. I love my fam. Shout out to T, shout out to Ty, and definitely fam, y'all make sure you take care of yourself, wear your mask, practice social distancing, and wash your hands. Take care of your family. These moments are sacred. And please, please, please remember to always stay up and don't sleep in your dreams. I'm Jimmy Bonds, Illadelphia Radio. I'm out. We see y'all next time. Fam, that's going to wrap the show. We want to thank you for listening to Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We ask you leave your comments and questions at 844-844-1244. Again, that's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Now remember, family, we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic, so please, please, please remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, and practice social distancing. Also, remember to take nothing for granted and value every opportunity you have with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. For in these times, every moment is sacred. So until the next episode, you can find me on Good Hope Road, screaming, stay up, don't sleep in your dreams. I'm Jimmy Bonds, and I'm out. Fight on, come on!